I really can't believe I haven't reviewed this one before because I've had so many bottles of it. It's so readily available. It's often on offer. And is it one of the best entry level bourbons you can get? Welcome, fellow whiskey-lings. I'm Big Al, and welcome to Whiskey Straight. Thanks for joining me and tuning in. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you're one of my long-standing subscribers, thanks for your ongoing support. Please like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to ring that bell. So today, I'm looking at another bourbon, and it's one that is pretty standoutish in terms of the bottle and the red wax seal up here. What I found over the years, this one has divided opinion a lot. It's a bit like Marmite, I find. People either love it or hate it. There doesn't seem to be really any in between. But I do like it, but how much do I like it? Well, let's pour a wee dram here and we'll let it sit for a while, and then we'll get into the nosing and the tasting and see what my thoughts are. Sláinte. First off, what you get is vanilla and caramel, but wow, what an absolute big hit of vanilla. The vanilla is big, it's bold, it's rich. But then some oak comes into play too, but it's not what you get in a lot of bourbons at a higher proof, which are normally deep dark char. This is more like a refined oak. It's like a polished oak. It's a wee bit more easygoing, and in a way that's a wee bit surprising too, because this is a barrel char number 3, so you would expect a wee bit more, but you're not really getting it. Again, there's not a whole big pile more going on the nose than those notes, but what is there? It's classic bourbon. It's those flavours that you would expect, but it's not overly complex, even though it's nice. So we'll get right on into the palate and see if we can get a wee bit more of the taste buds. Sláinte. First off, again, vanilla. Quite a hit of vanilla, but then it becomes toffee. But along with those flavours, there's a lovely smattering of orange spice in there. And it really does mix well together. It's a lovely, lovely first sip. Lots of flavour going on in there. It does tingle a wee bit around the side of the tongue as it dissipates towards the back of the palate. As it evolves, that oak comes into play again. But once again, it's a more refined oak. It's more polished in nature. And what's also interesting about it is there's a fruity element to it. There's a fruity essence to it. And that comes by the way of some cherry and even, surprisingly, a bit of Parma violet. Already, just on one sip, there's a hell of a lot more going on the palate than on the nose. So we'll give it another go and see if we can get anything more. Caramel comes into play again. That fruity element is still there. The spiciness still has a nice bite, but instead of orange spice now it's a wee bit more of a black pepper spice, and the char comes through a wee bit more now on this sip. The oaky element isn't as polished now, it's a bit more rich, it's a bit more depth of flavour, but once again it really mixes well with what's already going on. It's a really nice entry level bourbon, you have to say. I'll give it just one more little sip just to see if there's anything else going on, then we'll sum up. But what I have to say with this is, when it comes to the mouthfeel, it can be a wee tad sharp initially, but it very quickly becomes a wee bit more creamy, a bit more palatable. The mouthfeel is creamy when it gets there after that initial zing, and the finish is probably more medium to long. Not exactly long, but it does hang about for a while. Now, what I found with this whiskey is that over time it has really grown in me. I've come to like it a lot more than I did initially, and it just shows how your palate develops more over time. And it is a good entry level bourbon, and here's why. It's readily available, it's made the right way, it's a straight bourbon, it's got a nice ABV of 45%, and it's often found on a damn good offer, so you can pick this up. It's normally about 30-32 quid, but you can get it 25-20 quid on offer very often, and if you get it at that price, it's well worth a pickup. As terms of a score, this is a very good solid bourbon and a great introduction to bourbon as well. So I'm going to give it an 85. I'll leave it at that. So if you've had the Maker's Mark before at this entry level, let me know what your thoughts on it are. Let me know what your thoughts are indeed on the rest of the range. And once again, folks, thanks for all your support. I really do appreciate it. And we'll hang out again soon and have a few more pours. So until next time, folks, please stay safe, look after yourself, look after each other, and you know what? Keep on drinking your whiskey the way you like it. Sláinte.